What time is it? It's journey time and time for another creative journey using Stampin' Up! Products. Hello, my name is Kathy Haynes, and I know it's been a while, but we're still in transition. But I wanted to be sure to get this out because I thought the stamp set was so cute, and it's in the new Sale-A-Bration catalog that is now once a year that we will be having celebration. And I wanted you to see this before the time was up. And this you can get absolutely free until the end of February by making a $50 purchase. You can check it out on my website below. It's www.journeytime.com. I'm sorry, it's www.itsjourneytime.com. But the link is below. So just click on that. You don't have to remember that, since I obviously can't remember that. But this is filled with free stuff that you can get, free product, for spending $50. And this is the stamp set we're going to be using. And look at all these cute designs. Perfect for Easter. But in today's case, we're going to be making this thank you card. There's no one quite like you. Thanks a bunch. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So the first thing we want to do is I have my base, and I've scored it at, so it's a regular, you take your paper longwise, cut it in half at 4 1/4. You're going to score a course at 5 1/2, and then at 275. So 5 1/2 and 275, and then fold it mountain style, so that you have this, I call it a beach chair look. All right, and the next thing I want to do is I'm going to get started on this front piece, because that's the biggest part of this. And all the dimensions are going to be below. For those of you that do my workshops and have the kits, it's all pre-cut for you. But we're going to start with this piece here, and I'm going to turn it over because I did it and I used black for the second stamp, because you get two stamps. You get the carrot and the detail. And I did it in black and I didn't like it. And I want you to know that we all make mistakes. So I don't want to waste this paper. So I'm simply going to tip it over and I'm going to start over. Alrighty. So the first color that I used, and pardon my hands, you will see my rich raspberry exploded. In the middle of this transition of boxing everything up, some of my stamp sets or stamp pads were not stored properly, which is lying flat, and they were stored on their side or like that, and they did leak. Okay, so it's really important. These are juicy pads. Keep them stored flat. So it's all over my hands. I tried to clean it up, and that's the best I could do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with cinnamon cider and Cajun Craze. Those are the two colors that I used for the carrots on the back of the stamp set. So I'm going to take my stamp set. I am going to grab real quick something to wipe it off with. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Cajun Craze towards the left, ink it up, and do a carrot this way. Then I'm going to do what is called second generation stamping. I'm going to lift it up and immediately put it a little bit higher and stamp again. Okay, so now I have two different colors of the same, two different shades really of the same pad. Now I'm going to go over to cinnamon cider, and again I'm going to start from the outside. Ink that up. I'm going to bring that a little bit lower and stamp first generation cinnamon cider, and then I'm going to raise it up and do a second layer. So no masking, because simple is best. I think that looks just perfect. And then what I'm going to do is add my leaves. So you have two different stamps that you can add. You have a solid stamp that I'll show you in just a minute, and you also have a squiggly, what do I call it? But you have this one, and you have this one. Those are the two we're going to use today. So on this one, I don't want the stem on my carrots. So I'm only going to ink off the pad and ink up the leaves. So I simply take it like this and I go to the bottom and I'm only inking the leaves. See how I'm off the pad? And then I'm going to start my background. So, and yes, I'm going to go off the paper, first generation, second generation, and just wherever you think it's your garden, okay? So you decorate it how you like it. I'm going to put a solid one on the outside, and then there we go. Maybe a solid one up here. You don't want to put the solid, see I got a little bit of the stem in there, so be sure not to ink it up. And there, and now I want to throw and put another there. So see, it's just real easy. Nothing's right. You just do it how you want. It's your garden. And then I want to put a solid one of these leaves right about here. All right. And that will look good later. And I'm going to put those stamps away for now. And now what I want to do is I want to put my lines, my detail. Like I told you, there's a detail stamp here. So I am going to show you something. Put these away. Where are you? I'm going to use Early Expresso. Now this is how you get your stamp pad. And I just want to show you this trick and how I do it. Once I find my, that's a tool. Where'd you go? There you are. You're up here. Okay, so you turn it over and you take the one that says Early Expresso and you just kind of pick at the edge and pull it up. And as many of you know, you turn this right side up, turn it over, and press it down. Okay, and that's great. But now when you open it, I find it's very hard to see what color it is. And so if you have a workshop going on or people over, everybody's inking up with the wrong color. So what I did is I take this blank one that's down here, pick it up, and I put it on the right hand side, as you can see, right there on all my pads. Okay, so now when I open it, and it's laying on the table, you can easily see what color it is. So I hope that's a helpful tip. But we're going to go ahead and use it. And I'm going to take the detailed stamp. And I'm going to give my carrots some detail. So first generation over here. Kind of look at it, line it up best you can. And then second generation. And then I'm off a little, but it won't matter, you guys. This is your garden. Not all produce is perfect, okay? You can even buy non-perfect produce now. So no judging. There we go. Does not look good. Alrighty, so the next thing we're gonna do is sponge it. So I'm gonna sponge it in a lighter color. So I'm gonna sponge it in Crumb Cake. And I wanna sponge my edges. No, maybe I'll use the Early Expresso. That looks a little too light. Yes, I just got that all with my fingers. I am a sloppy. What I like about Early Expresso, it just has green highlights in its background. So it's, you know, whatever formula you use to get Early Expresso, it has green in it. So that looks good. Alrighty. So now what we need to do is do our foliage, our leaves. And we're going to put 2 leaves here. Well, no, first we're going to do our purple. It's actually rich raspberry. So I'm going to hand cut this out, fussy cut it. And I'll show you how easy that is. Much easier than the leaves. You have to fussy cut on this one. Some people like fussy cutting. We're not all normal. I don't know how anybody can enjoy fussy cutting, I guess. It's just like not everybody can be a nurse. Okay, so there we go. We've got our, and I'm gonna wanna sponge the edges. So I'm gonna grab my messy, sloppy, rich raspberry that was stored incorrectly. And I'm just gonna get the edges. Okay, that way it doesn't look fussy, fussy cut it out, if that's a word. And I wanna pop this up. So I'm gonna take one large and one normal and one mini pop dot. Put a mini down here and a large up here. And I wanna offset that. So because I've stamped that leaf there, it's because I anticipated that's about where I wanted to put this. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit, and there we go. Okay. Now I want to put some leaves on either side. So these leaves are cut out on regular very vanilla cardstock, and I fussy cut them. And you could either sponge it, or what I like to do, I have a soft succulent blends, and I use the big end. And I like to go around it, kind of stick it in the holes there where it'd be hard to sponge. Go in there, go down there. The longer you leave it in place, the more of a, it absorbs the color. Here we go. Or you could just sponge it like I did the carrot. But I kind of like this, and that way the edges all have that soft succulent, so it doesn't look like you cut it out. So cut it out, guys. Okay, there, that's the last joke for the day. And so these are the two that I did on regular, very vanilla cardstock. So I want them to kind of go behind there. So I'm going to use a mini dot, a mini dimensional, and build my garden. I did do this set a little bit high. I hope in the long run it looks okay. You could do all this a little bit lower, but like I said, it's your garden. Okay. And you can go over the edge. All right, so that's the beginning of our garden. I'm thinking maybe something more, but there, but we'll leave it for now. Now you have your third leaf, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a little bit. But this is done on either 110 cardstock, or you glue two pieces of very vanilla together, let it dry, stamp it, and cut it out. Okay, because you need it to be strong, because that's going to be your anchor, so that the card stays closed. And then when you pull it down, it opens up. Because this card also stands. I don't think I showed you that, but we want it to be able to stand. And if you didn't have that there, it would just fall over. So that's our anchor. Okay, we're getting there. Now let's go ahead and glue this to our back piece. Let me put this here, and I'm going to glue it straight to it. And again, I like, this is my mistake, so don't glue the front of your card. There's no sense in wasting paper. Nobody will ever know. I'm a conservative. Conservatives, well, let me see, that one's not working. Get another one. I just did a workshop, so I don't know which ones of my Tombow are new. I have new Tombow. Let's just shake, shake, shake. Hope we can get this down. Okay, I see my new ones, but let's just try one more time. Okay, this one's empty. So I have brand new ones to the rescue. Sorry. It has been so long since I have done a video. I'm lucky I'm as prepared as I am. Prepared. I'm paired. I'm impaired, yes. A lot of my club members would tell you. so my one fell off, and that's okay. I'll put it back on. Glue that down. Put my leaf back on. Did I not take the back off? Nope. Okay, so there's that. Now I want to do my banner thing here. So I have cut, and like I said, all the dimensions are below. We will go ahead and in the messy, rich raspberry, we will stamp "There's no one quite like you." And my reference is the purple carrot. Are you a purple carrot? I'm probably a purple carrot. Okay. All right. And then I want to cut a flag, which I don't really want mine quite that long. So I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. Just cut right to the middle. From the edge to back to that middle cut. Whoop, come on, Cappy. There's my flag. And then I want to sponge it. So again, with the rich raspberry, I'm just going to sponge it. Yes, my rich raspberry is out of control. It needs to settle down. Okay, so this one I used the crumb cake, and maybe I like that better, but we're going to go with this one for right now because I did it. And see how it is. But you might want to use "Do as I say, not as I do," because you might want to use a brown. So what I want to do on this one is I want to put 2 pop dots because this one's already popped up, so you already have it high. So I want to put 1 pop dot there, take off the film, and then I'm going to add another mini dimensional so that it's twice as high. Do you see that? So it's twice as high. And then I'm going to put it right, lined up with the Very Vanilla right there. All right. I might take this off later. That really bothers me. But, so do this in brown, okay? Do as I say, not as I do. Now we're going to attach this to the dark brown base. All right, so let's go ahead and turn it over. And you know, you can do that any order you want. Never attach your piece you're going to stamp, though, until you're done stamping, because there are mistakes you can't get out of. There we go. We're getting close, guys. This is a really fun and easy card. I still think it needs one more. So I'm just gonna do it, guys. Put one more stamp right there. There. Whoops. Wrong one, but that's okay. Now, did I mention this is my first video in probably 8 months, so just bear with me. Alrighty, here we go. Now comes how we build this card. So I want to take this, fold it up. So this is my top, and I have a piece of soft suede cardstock. I'm going to put glue down right there. And I do like using the Tombow because it really does forgive. So you can move it around just a little bit for just a little bit. Alrighty. And now we're going to simply glue this straight on to this. So right there and right at the bottom. All right, but you don't want to put your glue above this line. So stick to right about here. Okay, line it up. Alrighty. And there you go, you got that part done. Now we're going to open it. And again, we don't glue this in until we stamp it. So let's go ahead and glue this piece in. I hope I'm still, you guys can see me. Again, I hope you give me a little bit of wiggle room as I get back into the swing of making videos. I'm excited. I'm excited to have my barn studio done. I'm going to give it a name. If you have any suggestions, my studio is now in a steel building that looks like a barn because our barn burned down last year. And out of the ashes, I get a barn studio. Now, it used to be in our another little building we have here, so it was called the Scrap Shack. But I want something a little bit more, you know, cool, because it's not a shack anymore. Okay, now I'm going to take my little baby carrots. Let me find the stamp set. Okay, I have these little baby carrots, and I'm going to use Cajun Craze. And all I want to do is double stamp it. First generation, second generation. And then it comes with, well, I'm going to use the same one with the soft succulent, no stem. I may cut my stem off. I just can't see a time I'll need the stem. First generation, second generation, okay. And let's do another first. Let's do it. I don't want to go too high. So there we go. What do you think? All right. And then I'm going to use Early Expresso and do the thanks. Dot, dot, dot. And the dot, dot, dot is separate, so you don't have to use the dot, dot, dot. I'm a dot, dot, dot kind of person. Thanks. And I'm going to do this one differently. I'm going to put a bunch down below. And rich raspberry. I think that looks cool. Okay. So thanks a bunch. And then I'm going to sponge it. And I'm going to use the Early Expresso because that's what I used on the top one. That's what I like about sponging. There's no rules. Okay, and there are no mistakes. All right, I'm going to glue the back. Glue this right here. All right. So now I have my card, but I need to secure it. So I'm going to take my extra thick, and again, I'm going to use 2 dimensionals. That's my extra thick paper. And I'm going to have to use minis, I think, on this one. So let me grab my minis again. But I want to double up. So I'm going to double up twice. Because they're minis, you're going to want to put 2 down, take off the film, because that's what's holding your card shut. So it's going to have a lot of wear and tear. Stack up another one on top of it. So I'm doing 2 layers of minis, line them up, then peel off the top. And this is where you just have to figure out the best place to put that it will hold it. And I'll be honest with you, it took me a few tries. Again, this probably shouldn't be there. I didn't put that on the first one, but I don't think it matters. So now my card stands up. Whoops, it really does. Stands up. I don't know why it's falling. There we go. Stands up. Lays down, oops, and doesn't open because I put that. Be sure not to put this one too close. So maybe just one set and hope for the best. Okay, let's try that again. Sorry. I forgot about that. Make sure that it's not sticking to your front panel. There we go. So now it stands up perfectly, lays down flat, and come on. I can open it and close it, and open it and close it. So there's my card. Now we're just going to add a little bit of bling. I hope you will check out the clearance section always. There's updates periodically because that's where I got these darling little gems. And there's the green, and then it looks like pale papaya. So this is probably soft succulent. And because I have a lot of space down here, I'm going to put one like that. And I'm going to put a smaller one right here. My other one, I used the soft succulent. It'll look just as good, see? And I'll put one small one right, I think over here on this one. You know, it depends on where you stamped because you're just trying to level it out. So here we go. This is the Thanks a Bunch card. I hope that you liked it. And again, you can see I messed up with my foliage. I don't think anybody's ever going to know. You may think this one looks better than this one. We all have different taste. And that's what's great about being creative. It's your garden. So thank you for joining me on another creative journey. My next journey is going to be coming up very soon. So be sure to like and subscribe below. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll be notified each time I upload a video. And we're going to be doing some really cool videos real soon, including another light up card with circuitry. So once again, I'm Kathy Haynes. Thank you for joining me on this creative journey. Bye-bye now.